story, guys, hit that subscribe button with the notification bell on. Smash that like button. Let's go for like 300 likes on this video. And leave me a comment down below if you follow me on TikTok. I'd love to know every single one of you that follow me, so tell me down below. Let's get on with the story. Okay, so there's genuinely a few things that I know for a fact you are thinking right now this is fake. And I completely understand. I'm a guy. How do I go to an all-girls school? It totally makes sense. I understand. But trust me, by the end of this video, I promise you, you will understand and you won't think this video is fake because it genuinely is real. And you must understand that because I never address if one of my stories is fake or real ever. So trust me, this one is real. So anyway, there's genuinely a few things that you need to know about me. And this is part of my, you know, sort of excluded from school series because this is actually what happened one time. And this is probably one of the worst it possibly gets because it genuinely was awful. You're probably thinking,
oh my god, a boy in an all-girls school, that must be like heaven.
Honestly, kind of, but at the same time, no. Because I was being watched very closely. Imagine walking around school and you have a guy with a pair of binoculars. That sounds awful. That sounds awful. Why have I used that? That was dumb, okay? Imagine the head teacher walking around with like a microscope on top of you. That's how closely I was being watched. Okay, so again, as the same as most of my, you know, sort of exclusion series, this all took place in year 8 to year 9. That sort of time period because it genuinely happened over quite a lot of months. I mean, you have to do some seriously bad things to get into this position. So anyway, as I've made like 3 videos by now of me being excluded, this is one of the situations. And if you haven't checked those out, then they're all linked down below, or I have a playlist called School Playlist. You can literally go watch every single video. So one day I'm going into school. I'm feeling particularly like grumpy and dumb on this day. I don't want to go fully into details because I'll probably end up making like a video about how I actually got excluded for this in another video. I don't know, leave me a comment if you do want that hashtag excluded video or something like that, I don't know, and I will make that. But basically I went into school super grumpy, did something so dumb, genuinely so dumb, and like I said, I can make a video about it, but if I went into it, this video would be like 40 minutes long, and I don't want that. So I do something really dumb, I get excluded, and this time I was permanently excluded. I got completely kicked out of the school, and I had to kind of, you know, wait, and it does take a long time for you to get into a new school. And another thing you need to know is my nan, okay, this is weird, my nan is pretty young. My nan is a pretty young lady, and she's young enough, let's say that, to be a head teacher of a school. She probably should have retired like 10 years ago, but instead she decides to stay on. And she is in charge of, you can probably guess, an all-girls school. So anyway, basically when you're waiting for a new school, you know, when you apply for a new school, when you get excluded, a lot of you probably won't know what I'm going on about. And genuinely, good job. You should never know what I'm going on about. But you can't just literally leave a school and then go into a new school the next day. It takes like a good amount of time. And basically in year 8, I really wasn't doing great. My education was kind of, you know, going out the window. My parents were really disappointed in me and thought I was becoming stupid. And to be honest, I was really falling behind because I was just acting like an idiot throughout this whole year. So in this time off that I technically had between going schools, I had a lot of time to just be dumb, not learn, and play PlayStation. So my parents decided it would be a great idea if I could either get, you know, homeschooled whilst I was in this period of time, basically, or if I could go to a school before going to my actual school, which is really weird, and trust me, it makes sense because like I said. So anyway, the day happens that I go over to my nan's house, and like I said, my nan's in charge of an all-girls school. She's super strict, and my mum sits down with her. Well, mum and dad. This was actually my dad's mum. Yeah, I think I made a video about my mum's mum the other week, so yeah. And she is way older than, you know, my dad's mum, and she is not capable of at all of being in charge of a school, regardless as this is like 6-7 years ago. So we go around to the house, my mum and my dad explain the situation to her, and she sort of tells me to find a new school. She never ever in a million years would say, come to my all-girls school, because that would be, I'm pretty sure, really dodgy. So anyway, my mum and my dad ask if I could go to her school whilst I was kind of waiting to get into a new school. She said there was a lot of issues with it. She said there was so many things wrong with it. And at first she actually said no. She said no, and then like a week later we went back, and my mum and my dad were just absolutely begging her to let me go to the school because GTA 5 just came out, okay? I was literally grinding. I'm fairly sure in one part of my life, I was the richest person on GTA 5 online. So after begging her, she eventually does say yes, and basically the way that the all-girls school works is it's a full-on boarding school, so you have to literally pack your bag, go away for like, you know, a certain amount of time, you live over there, everything. I obviously did not share a room with girls. That would be so inappropriate. So I literally had a room to myself next to my nan's room. My nan's the head teacher, who I'm fairly sure did not like me at this point. And yeah, that's pretty much the whole story. Guys, if you want me to talk about what it's actually like being a guy in an all-girls school, then leave me a comment down below, something, and I'll definitely make that video. It's a weird experience, but hopefully you did enjoy the story. Thank you for watching. Peace out.